That's right. It is the morning show right here on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, of course, LinkedIn, and much, much more. Glad to have you with us on today's show. We got lots to talk about, some late breaking news as well as others, including a particular animal defending its right to defend as only a mother can and should. We'll talk about that and more. We got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So, not sure about you, but have you been hiking anytime as of late?
No, I actually want to start doing that. So, but I don't know. After today, who knows?
It's not a bad idea, except of course when you do you want to share that article of what exactly happened with a particular hiker? Because I think we got the video of it while you talk about it.
Yeah, sure. This happened actually in Provo, Utah. A guy was going hiking through the wilderness, and he came across some cougar kittens.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're in the wilderness and you see babies, your automatic instinct should walk the other way. Walk the other way. So as he sees the cats, uh, 15, 20 seconds later, Mama comes out. She is not happy. And so she escorts him out of their area with a little force or a little scary force. But I will say this though, I give props for this guy for being so calm and just just the worst thing you could possibly do in a situation like this is run.
Yeah.
Then you're just what, fast food?
But I like the way the cougar just kind of like walks him out, escorting him out. Like, no, she goes quite a ways. Like, no, you're not coming anywhere near, right?
Right.
And when she lunges, like right there, she just, whoa, whoa, whoa. I would be freak. All right, we're good. I mean, I would be like, I wish I had a treat to give the cougar to just be like, don't worry about it. I would have probably ran. I'm just saying, Jesse, I think I would have ran. I don't think I would have been as cool as collected as this hiker was, but there you go. Whew, that just sent shivers down my spine. One time I was in a field back to another radio station where I talk about this all the time. One time I heard, how do they do it? No, that's terrible. You know what? It's a thing. I can't duplicate it right now. But long story short, don't ever get caught in the woods with a cougar by yourself. Okay, so there you go. And you ladies that are the cougars, you know what I'm talking about. You got your cubs over there. All right. Let's take a quick.
Wrong kind of cougars.
You know what? It's the right kind of cougar. I'm just saying. You know, but. I don't know where I'm going with this. All right, I need to take a break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages with our radio audience around the corner. Some ladies, they're like cougars. I'm just saying, defending their pride of little cubs. Don't be a cub. What is the thing? I'm not judging. I'm not. We'll be right back. All right, there. Let's see. So that was. I mean, that I don't know if that woke you up there. There it is. Let's see. Hey, wait. Is that? I just saw this on the news. How it's saying. Okay, guys. Yeah, we're looking at the Facebook feed. Sorry, or all the feeds actually. With this app, we get to watch all of your comments from all the different platforms as we have them. Let's see. Let me bring up a couple. Let's see. Let me scroll. Good morning from Los Angeles, Renee. Arbizu, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate that. Like your anime link there. Who doesn't love a little bit of anime? Let's see. Ooh. Yeah, Sugar Cookie says, I just saw this on the news. Yeah, well, that's kind of what we are. Limited edition. Let's see. All right, let's see. Patrice says, great footage. I'm telling you, he was, I mean, smart for having his camera out, right? A part of me feels like he just I mean, that's good. He's gonna make a lot of money on YouTube, right? Like a lot of views. Hope he gets his monetization for that.
Oh, by the way, if you were to listen to the audio for him, he actually roars at the mama lion or cougar.
Oh, really? That's right. Like roar, like just
he's like roar, go away.
Roar, like the cougar's like, please, I got claws, you don't. I see you got a manicure. Come on.
Probably. That would not surprise me.
You can't. I get it. Like trying to be bigger than like a bear, right? Like roar, right?
10 seconds.
I would do that.
I think he got his animals mixed up. Well, I think cats usually run. So.
When you're in the moment, you can't outrun a cat. This is like that was the smartest thing to do. Back it up.
2 seconds.
All right. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live streaming audience there, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope TV, LinkedIn Live. We're glad to have each and every one of you with us on today's show. We've got lots of news. Some of it great, some of it amazing, and some of it just downright blah, right? Can we just be blah like with the rest of like coronavirus? Can we just like whatever coronavirus, you're just an unofficially horrible thing to be in our lives, and we got to get rid of you. We got to eradicate it. Speaking of which, there is some news on some vaccines. Some vaccines not doing so well, by the way. Johnson & Johnson in the news as of late. But before we talk about all that, we got Mr. Jesse Sanchez over there. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning.
So, Jesse, obviously a lot of people are wondering right now, coronavirus, it's where it's at. Evidently, the president being all good over there. So I'm wondering what kind of a cocktail he was able to drink to make him oh so okay all of a sudden. And I'm kind of wondering, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, don't you think he should share that with the rest of his like White House staff? Or are they all coronavirus free now, or is it just him?
Good question. You know what? If they were smart, they would share it for the entire White House staff. Yeah. And anyone who comes in contact with the president.
Although I will say this, I will say on the flip side of that, look, to any supporter of President Trump, I will say this. If he has the right cocktail or the right vaccine, hey, bring it on out, right? But there you go. I mean, that would be one way to win the presidency, right? I got the cure for everyone. Boom. Then again, I'd wonder, how did he get the cure so fast, right? Johnson & Johnson in the news as well, in Facebook as well. Johnson & Johnson actually paused their trials, which we've talked about at length here on the show. And unfortunately, I always say this. I say with any vaccine that comes out, you always got to be careful at the beginning because you never know if it's going to rear its ugly head at some point. But these tests are very necessary. Clinical trials are super necessary, obviously, because you want to make sure, that they're operating correctly, right, Jesse? Like you want to make sure they're not going to create a problem for the rest of humanity.
Yeah, you don't want to. We don't want 6 or 7 years down the line come up on an ad saying, "Hey, if you took this vaccine during the coronavirus epidemic, call now."
Yeah, so they halted the vaccine trial. The pharmaceutical company paused it entirely. And due to an unexplained illness, right, which is never what you want to see in a clinical trial, which, again, I always say, the ones that put themselves on these clinical trials really should be compensated more than what I think sometimes they are. So drug maker Johnson & Johnson said they paused the advanced clinical trial of their experimental coronavirus vaccine because of the unexplained illness of one of the volunteers. They said in a statement, following our guidelines, the participants' illness is being reviewed and evaluated by the Ensemble Independent Data Safety Monitoring Board. Thank goodness for independent people, as well as our internal clinical and safety physicians. Ensemble is the name of the study. Adverse events, illnesses, accidents, etc., even those that are serious, are an expected part of any clinical study, especially large studies. That inspires no confidence in anybody that wants to sign up for these clinical trials, right, Jesse?
Do they get paid for this?
I hope so. I believe so. I think that's kind of the tease, right? We'll pay you.
But how much?
I don't know.
Outbreak monkey?
Johnson & Johnson's Janssen vaccine arm is developing the shot. The company did not say what the unexplained illness was, which I think we need to know. But one point of clinical trials is to find out if vaccines cause dangerous side effects. Trials are stopped when they pop up while doctors check to see if the illness can be linked to the vaccine or is a coincidence. According to Johnson & Johnson, they did say, based on all of our strong commitment to safety, all clinical studies conducted by the Janssen pharmaceutical companies of Johnson & Johnson have pre-specified guidelines. These ensure our studies may be paused if an unexpected serious adverse event that might be related to a vaccine or study drug is reported, so there can be a careful review of all of the medical information before deciding whether to restart the study. We must respect this participant's privacy. That's called, we don't want to make it known. I guarantee they did like this little disclaimer, like you cannot go out and tell people what it is. We're also learning more about this participant's illness, and it's important to have all the facts before we share additional information. So there you go. But you know what? I'm not completely against. How can I say? I'm glad that they're bringing this up here and now, right? How many different stories do we hear of that are behind the fact, like they were always aware of, but they kind of hide it because they need to get out with the drug before somebody else does.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of, if it had to happen, I'm glad that they're pausing it, as long as somebody didn't die from it. But still, you still wonder what was the other weird illness, right? And this is the second one. Remember, we reported on another vaccine that had to stop as well by a completely different company about 3 weeks ago. Which I say, be careful, because whenever and this is still to a limited amount of people, right? Usually in the hundreds, sometimes the thousands. And then they try to extrapolate that over the rest of the world. And of course, you're going to have things pop up. So if you have things pop up all of a sudden in the clinical trial, that's got to be a scary thing when it gets to the next step. But I will say this. I'm just glad. I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments, Jesse, and I would just. Do you want to share that publicly versus I just saw your comment in social media, which, by the way, those of you tuning in, you can comment on our social media feed. Evidently, Jesse speaks his mind on social media, but not in the room. Do you want to text or share with us what you just felt it could be or not be?
Unknown illness equals I don't know what, future zombie outbreak. We don't know, as long as they're telling us.
God, I hope not, right? But that's how all of them start, right? That's how all of them start. Resident Evil, every one of those. I think the latest one, isn't that what was the one with Brad Pitt in it?
World War Z.
World War Z. That's right. That was kind of the main idea of it. But I think it was to cure cancer, or there's something with cancer. I think it was something like that. Go check it out. That's a good film, by the way. That's one of the few zombie films that I actually like. I like smart zombie films. Does that make sense? I don't know that you could make which I know Walking Dead is really a good series. Have you ever binge watched Walking Dead, Jesse?
Yes, and I stopped at a specific moment in that series.
I hear that those that get really committed and into it just get kind of freaked out, because I guess there's characters you cannot think that they're above getting axed, right? So get it, axe, because take out a zombie. I mean, you would want a sword. Speaking of which, can I just say again, the Charlize Theron movie, really good, by the way, Jesse. What was it called? The Old Guard?
The Old Guard, yeah.
She and her team carry not just guns, but swords, which, think about it, once you're out of bullets, the sword is the best backup you got, right? Which I believe Texas is. I think it's okay to carry a sword out in public. It's not
really.
It's not considered an offense. I looked it up one time. I'm like, I'm going to Texas just to carry a sword. Imagine somebody just full. I mean, come on, Jesse, that'd be kind of cool, right? Right behind
my soda.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody's going to mess with you with a sword. Some people might be, is that a fake sword? No, watch. You're like, oh no, I don't know if you could brandish it, but you have more warning, right, with the sword. I'm just saying, are we going backwards in time? I mean, it used to be a thing. I think we should allow that. I think less people would be so stupid, right? But there you go. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. This happened. Police in Greece said they found 102 kilograms. For those of you that are here in the U.S. and don't understand how to convert it, that's 225 pounds of heroin in a vacation rental apartment in central Athens. The drugs in shrink-wrapped packages and stored in 4 duffel bags were found when police raided the apartment near the city's main train station. The apartment had been rented since September 24th and was raided Sunday. No one was present and no arrests have been made. So there you go. It's a lot of heroin in one place, right? It makes you wonder, what did they do with all that heroin? I've never done heroin. Do you know anybody that's done heroin, Jesse?
No. Just on TV.
Yeah, highly addictive, that stuff. But boy, that's a lot of pounds. I don't know. I mean, makes you wonder. Okay, and then there's this. Cristiano Ronaldo tests positive for COVID-19. Here's some other top headlines. Europe eyes new restrictions as cases hit new high. Did you see this? Our friends in Europe, many of them, Scotland, by the way, big shout out to Scotland, Edinburgh, which if you haven't checked it already, Fraser Ramsey, I was on his show, Ramsey Unleashed. It's already bypassed, I think, 60,000 views. So thank you to each and every one of you for watching, sharing, commenting, where I get unleashed on the Ramsey Unleashed. But I felt bad because I saw a news article that said that in his neck of the woods in Scotland, there's closing down the breweries again. Like they're going on to second lockdown, which I've been saying to close friends, be careful in the next week and a half. I feel that's going to happen here as well. Like enjoy if the malls are open right now, because I think we're going back into that situation once again. Let me read, for example, and I always say, look around the world to see what's going to happen there, which will probably end up happening here, right? And remember, we have a lot more deaths technically than some of these countries do per the amount of people that actually are sick. So this is the latest. The World Health Organization said there were more than 700,000 new COVID-19 cases reported in Europe last week. That's a jump of 34% compared to the previous week, with Britain, France, Russia, and Spain accounting for more than half of new infections recorded in the region. Now, if you remember, these areas have been able to open up sooner than us, but they also went on to lockdown before us, right? The increasing case numbers are partly the result of more testing, but the UN Health Agency noted that deaths were also up. That's the one you got to look at. 16% in the region last week. That's compared to the previous week. Doctors are also warning that while many new cases are currently in younger people, by the way, get that old information out. I know so many people, Jesse, that are just like, yeah, it just affects the really elderly, right? No. Look at the world news. Again, get outside of your bubble. That's all I say. So they're saying more in younger people who tend to have milder symptoms. The virus could again start spreading widely in older populations, likely resulting in more serious illnesses. In response to the latest numbers, Italy and France are restricting parties and putting limits on restaurants and bars, measures that Slovenia is also considering. By the way, I did see a lot of people really upset about Newsom saying what he said about California, but this is happening in other countries too, people. And you know what I'm seeing in those countries too, Jesse? They're protesting. Which I'm not gonna lie. I'm upset too that a lot of businesses are losing their form of income and or service. I'm not gonna be all, hey, let's forget about that. There's gotta be a middle ground, people. It's gotta be a middle ground. Look, if you don't want to test their temperature, just put out one of those things that I keep talking about. And then you would think I sell those. I don't, by the way. But they're available online and in other areas. You just get an infrared camera. It allows for you to see who's entering your place of business. Anybody that with the temperature, you automatically exclude. And they have to wear a face mask, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Look, you can restrict business to anyone, right, Jesse? That's the thing. And I think with people, we need to restrict some people from our lives because they just keep throwing caution to the wind. So there you go. The Czech Republic is closing all schools until November 2nd, while Latvia is ordering teenagers to switch to distance learning for a week. Britain unveiled a new 3-tiered system for deciding what restrictions to impose based on how severe the outbreak is in certain areas. Those moves reflect a new approach to containing the virus among governments wary of hurting already fragile economies. Again, the U.S. is not alone. Okay, anybody that's like living in their own world going, oh, yeah, this is a conspiracy against Trump, blah, 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 blah. Or, oh, yeah, this is just a thing, just here, just meant to inspire fear. No, people, this is around the world. This is one of the very few pandemics, if ever. I don't even think the Spanish flu hit around the world as much as this current pandemic. It was bad. The Spanish flu was terrible. But to this level of like countries all around the world, I just not sure. All right, people, we're up against a break. Let's take our break. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. We'll be right back. And comments, social media comments coming up next. Let us know where you're tuning in from, especially if this is your very first time. All right, we're on our commercial break there. Let's bring on Jesse, Mr. Yesy. Is it Yesy or Jesse? Or you? I like Jesus personally. Okay, let's see. Let's scroll up. Scroll up. I think somebody found you on social media, by the way, via Periscope, Jesse. Did you see that?
What do you mean?
Sugar cookie. I don't know that I want to flash it. Just look at the because you're not on Periscope and I didn't flash it up. Carly. Okay, that's not the type of. You just say yes. Oh yeah, I remember Carly. I'm not. I don't. There's a history there. I don't want to throw that up here. But she's on Periscope as Sugar Cookie 0.
Okay, I only know one Carly.
Yeah, that's the Carly.
But that's my brother's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. Oh, you already threw it out there. Can I throw that up on the news feed?
Go ahead.
She said that. Yeah. She says, tell Jesse, look at the comments there. Tell Jesse it's his brother Mike's ex, Carly. Tell him I said hi.
Okay, I'll let him know.
No. Wait. I think it's hi to you, not hi to.
Oh.
Yeah, don't let. Yeah, there you go. Small world though, right? Sugar cookie.
It really is.
It really is. Let's see. See, looking at the comments there. Yeah, tell him Carly said hi. That was the statement. So,
hi, Carly.
Let's see. All right. Sorry, I'm looking at the comment. Yeah, she says hi. Wow, it is. That's funny. There you go. Yep, Jesse's part of the morning show crew.
20 seconds.
And he does all the other programs too here at the station. So we appreciate him more than he knows.
10 seconds.
All right, thanks.
Two seconds.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMT 1490 AM. Joining our live streaming audience there, Periscope TV, YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, and of course, our good friends over there on Facebook Live. We appreciate each and every one of you. This story, I thought we could all learn something from. Do you have a tattoo that you've regretted for quite some time? Well, that's the latest headline. It's okay to say you were wrong. That's a movement in Virginia to cover up racist tattoos. And this story is one that I think it's okay to admit when you're wrong, right, Jesse? Do you ever say, you know what? I had wrong information at the time. I'm pretty sure I've grown from it.
Yes, if you can look back and say, you know what? I made a mistake, or I was immature, or stuff like that. It's okay.
Yeah, so I like this type of story because it says, you know what? It's okay to admit you were wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's called growing up, right? I feel some people are so adamant that they're always right versus say, you know, I think I was wrong on that. Well, it took Andrea Einhaus years to walk into a Virginia tattoo parlor and ask them to cover up a tattoo associated with white supremacy on her back. She said this to Nightline, says, I have to live every day with the guilt of being brought up racist. You can make strides socially, be nice to your neighbor, but when it's physically on you and you're able to see that washed away from your body, it's almost like being baptized. Einhaus was only 17 years old when she was tattooed with the mark that's widely celebrated by hate groups. She explained this, quote, it's an iron cross. When you look at neo-Nazis today, they might have a swastika tattoo. They might have those 2 lightning bolt tattoos, or they might have an iron cross. She said that at the time, she was aware of what people might think when they saw the cross, but it just didn't bother her, right? She's 17 at the time. Think about it. How many 17-year-olds go, what if, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Whatever. You know, that type of behavior usually lasts till about 23 or so. And then all of a sudden people go, what was I thinking? You know, there's a part of the developmentally of the brain that doesn't actually start in effect until after the age of 23. So a lot of young adults do some brash things And they do suppress things. I know many of you are like some of us go, what was I thinking? That's the problem. You weren't thinking with the frontal cortex because that still was developing throughout your young adulthood, by the way. Just so you know, which is why you always feel like invincible, like nothing can do you any harm, right? Which is why you kind of need to listen to the smart ones in the world with the developmental part of the brain that says caution when approaching a red light, right? So there you go. So that, but back to this story. I like this because it goes on to say, and she's very adamant about this, and I love this. I love when people they take ownership of what I call a dumb moment in their life, and they say, you know what, I was dumb, and this is how she said it. She says, it's one of the stupidest things I've ever done. I'm liking this lady, right? She's admitting we all do that. I mean, I know I've done some dumb stuff. She says, I just kind of picked out a pattern and it wasn't intentional. It wasn't for me to brand on my body. I hate everybody different from me. It wasn't to brand on my body some form of a swastika. She went on to say, however, I was aware of what people could take away from it, and that didn't bother me. That's a problem. Einhaus says she didn't think much of it at the time. Back to she didn't know her brain was still developing at that part. If you're young and you take issue with that, go look it up. It's a real thing. In part because of where and how she grew up in her mostly white community in North Carolina. And I get that, right? There's a lot of people that sometimes they have other friends and or family members that say, oh, yeah, that's the type of behavior. We all accept it. But then when you step outside of the area, all of a sudden you're like, that's not a normal way to talk or think. Have you ever met people like that, Jesse?
I met a few.
Yeah, it's actually quite normal, especially when you don't get outside of your own realm of existence. It's very normal, especially it's in rural parts of the country. And people are like, no, I'm pretty sure everybody's that way, right? Which is why when you go into like parts like metropolitan areas, you go, oh, not everybody's that way. Got it, right? So she says this. She didn't think much of it at the time, in part because of where and how she grew up in her mostly white community in North Carolina. That kind of overt racism was a way of life. I've seen it. I've been around it, by the way. And I'm like, this is normal up here. Back to the high desert. There's a lot of people like that still. She says, I was so indoctrinated. I was very, very brainwashed. It was very acceptable to believe that African Americans are just lower than white people, that gay people are an abomination and immigrants are not welcome. Again, I love this lady because she's calling it out. Like this is anybody that doesn't. Okay. And it's hard for people to understand this, but this happens in all circles, not just white communities, by the way. It happens in all circles. I call them mini tribes, right? I recently, I got tweeted this information. Go follow me on Twitter. I reposted a very interesting YouTube video of areas going against the other areas in African communities, all same color, doesn't matter, but because they're of a different tribe and or country and or nation, all of a sudden they're just like burning up houses, villages, and the like. Very sad state of affairs. It really is. To which I always ask, well, what can you do about it other than get it more aware? And I think you got to do more than just spreading out the information. There's got to be more with that. But it goes back to the very heart of the situation, which is like this young lady, because it makes it okay to have this discussion in your own community because, well, let's face it, your own family, you joke differently than when you go out and all of a sudden you're with other people, right? And there's sometimes some is peer pressure, right? I've been guilty of that as well. Sometimes you're around certain people and you're like, oh, they joke in a certain way. Okay, I can joke in this way with them, but I can't joke this way with somebody else. I've been put in that position quite a few times. Sometimes I keep my mouth shut. Sometimes I call it out. And sometimes I just say, whatever. I can't change them as long as they're more good than bad, right? There's some behaviors you just can't change right away. You have to hope they come around eventually, but you can't just be like, hey, because then they go at it, fist fight, and yada, yada, yada. But for her to accept this in her own life and to call it out, I applaud this young woman. Here's the rest of the story. When she moved to Virginia in 2007, she said different people came into her world. One of them, her new best friend, was on her mind as she drove to the tattoo shop. That friend is Jewish. She said this, quote, I don't love being the center of attention. I don't love being on camera. When they brought this opportunity to me, I did not want to do it. And the reason that I did do it was because I owe this to the people that I've offended. Jeremiah Hirsch runs the Electric Pair of Dice tattoo parlor in Fredericksburg, Virginia, where Einhaus had her tattoo covered for free. He's helped hundreds of people in what he's calling, I love this guy already, his Erase the Hate campaign, and has covered up people who come in with Confederate flags and racist gang symbols. Hirsch has Holocaust survivors in his family. He said this, quote, "It's heartbreaking to hear about her upbringing and to be raised in such a hateful environment and think that it's okay. It's so beautiful today to erase that from her." Although he doesn't charge for the service, Hirsch asks that the people for whom he covers tattoos make a donation of $100 or more to groups that help minorities. He went on to say this, "There has to be bridges built. I remember going to church on Sundays and you would have the black congregation on this side of the church and he would be on the other side. I never fully understood that." Hirsch says that while slavery and segregation have gone away, the communities are still separated. He said it's when different people meet and understand each other that racism starts to die. I agree with that 100%. Put yourself out of your own little bubble and start associating with people that are not of the same color and have very frank discussions. Have it for a good month. Make a commitment to yourself. For a month, I'm going to get outside of my own, I get it when sometimes we have family members or people that we find attractive for whatever reason. Look outside of that attractiveness and look around your own perception of attractiveness, because there's attractiveness in all different ethnicities and or tribes. All right, so we got to take another break. I'm against the clock. I don't have any more time on that story, but go check it out. I'll post this on my social media feed. Go find me, Aaron M. Sanchez. It's where it's at. Comments coming up next here on The Morning Show. All right, let's see. We are back here just kicking it up. Let's see where the comments are coming from. Let's see. Hios delinternet.com says, "Nice beard." So good job, Jesse. Is it true you want to color your hair gray, Jesse?
No. My hair is gray though.
It's great, Ian, but don't no. Look.
I will never put any coloring in my hair.
Well, I'm just saying, just enjoy the salt and pepper when it's meant to be enjoyed. Don't rush it along. Does that make sense?
I've had this since I was 18.
Oh, really?
Yes. If you were to look at all my pictures as I was.
Hold on, let me bring you on camera. Hold on. I want you to get closer so we can see your hairline. Hold on. Let's see. Where are you at there?
Can't really tell because it's pretty mixed in pretty good. But
because I got some right up in the top. See that right there? Oh, you can't probably. But we got almost up in the same area right there.
I think it was at 18 because I always shaved my head. I kept it really short. Nobody understood why.
Aw, Jesse.
But it was only on the sides because I look like Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four.
That's a cool look, by the way.
It is.
I'm starting to get that.
As I started to grow out my hair more when I met Casey, I was just like, okay, now when my mom saw it, she's like, "Oh my God, you got gray hair." I'm like,
I hate that. Okay, I'm going to zoom in virtually since you're not going to do it. Hold on. I'm going to... Whoa.
Let me take my headset off.
I can barely see it, Jesse.
Yeah, you can barely see it.
And you know what? That's distinguishing. It really is. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But even my mom, I took my mom out to Lucille's yesterday. And my mom is now back to, which I told her, I go, "Mom, you never listen to me." She wanted to go the whole gray route, right? And I says, "Mom, enjoy the colored route because it's hard to maintain." She's like, no, I want to go gray. And I'm like, "You're going to feel older, Mom. Just stay." And other people are like, "Nah, let your mom be." I'm like, I know my mom better than anybody, but okay. So now she wants to go back to the color route. And there you go. Some people have to just learn by doing, right? You can't help them. She's like, "I'm going to cut it. I'm going to go." I'm like, "I told you, but don't listen." That's fine. Love my mom. Love my mom. Just try to protect her. Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live streaming audience there on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope TV, YouTube Live, Apple TV. Don't forget, that's where it's at. Let's see. Judy Munoz is tuning in. Hello, Judy. Glad to see you. Hope your family's good. Doing great over there, too. Let's see. We've got Rosalie. Rosalie says this. It looks great on a guy, but women feel differently. I've had gray since I was 14. And the reason why I went all white, red was too much upkeep. And she says, Jesse, which is technically Jesus is his real name. Jesse, those are highlights. So there you go.
I like that idea.
Yeah, because and for those just joining us, we were talking during the commercial break, so I want to fill you in. Jesse wants to color his hair gray. Or is it salt and pepper? Which is it, Jesse?
No. I wasn't talking about coloring my hair. I said that's the color of my hair instead of brown.
I don't know. There was a question on your Facebook feed. I beg to differ. Do I have to bring it up? I'm going to bring it up now. Jesse, because you said something differently, or maybe I misread it. Because I've been known to do that. But I gave you advice. And when I give advice, people should listen. I'm just saying, I'm always right. I really am. People always go, you were right. You called it out. I'm like, I know, right? This is what you said. I'm kind of digging the longer hair, but definitely need to trim the sides for hair color instead of brown. Should I put salty brown since I have white hair all over?
Oh, okay. Should I call it salty brown?
That's not what I read.
I know. I was half asleep.
Okay. All right. Agree to disagree. We were both right then. Okay. So there you go.
There you go. Rosalie got me. She's like, we were naming his color. There you go.
Yeah. Which I say to the people out there, I get it. It's a lot of upkeep, but if you color your hair, there's nothing wrong with that. I know a lot of women that color their hair, and then some let it go due to like coronavirus, and then they feel depressed, sad, mad, angry, and upset. And I say, if you got a man in your life, make sure your man says, you know what, I'll help you get it done. Not because they need it, but just because, sometimes, look, people always say, wow, that person put on too much makeup. I say, you know what, if it makes them feel good, why are you going to stop them, right? I mean, as a dude, sometimes I want to put cover up over a pimple. I got like all kinds of blemishes on my face, right? But to those that are like natural and free flowing, I say, hey, if you're fine with it, good. Why not? But I've seen so many people depressed, mad, angry, and sad that sometimes they just need a mini makeover. Even dudes need that. Maybe it's like a different fashion style for them. Maybe it's like strut their stuff. Just, anything that ups the ante in your confidence level. Why not? Right? If it makes you feel good, why not? That's what I say. So, don't be hating, don't be judging. But I will say this, don't forward or advance. Let me add some perspective, because I know some people are going to take issue with this. They're going to say, wow, you were so controlling. But hold up, okay? My mom, about a year and a half ago, made the sudden decision to say, I'm just going to go all natural, right? And I said to her, Mom, I know you. Please don't. Just maintain it. Okay. She had really nice dark. One time she did like purple hair by accident. She thought it was burgundy and it ended up purple. Which she rocked it, by the way. There's pictures of her. People were like, I'm liking it. All of a sudden, everybody I knew on Facebook was starting to go purple 100%, right? And so I think she started a trend. I'm just saying. But about a year and a half ago, she said to me, no, I just want it, all wiped clean, and I want to go just a silver look. And I said, Mom, I know you. Just can you just keep it up? No. I said, okay, all right. Well, it's all right. So fast forward, coronavirus, right? Nobody expected that. It's so much more difficult for me to be like, because my mom's now like, I'm ready to go back. And I said, Mom, it's a process. Like, if you are all silver, it's a process to go all back to color. And women know this, by the way. Ladies out there, if you went from a new hair color from one, because you have to do this, there's this thing you got to do so that the color takes and it holds and does so in a proper way. Sometimes there's several treatments and or several different times to go in, and they're not cheap to do a whole thing. They're really not. So, and I know that there's ones that you can buy over the counter, but usually those are like, meh. Where she's like, I'll just do it myself. I go, Mom, if you're going to do it right. We can make ends meet. Just hold up. I just want to make sure you go to the right person that exercises caution. Back to hairstylists. I love the hairstylists that are in our lives. Without them, a lot of us would be like, oh my God, right? So the reason I say that is, fast forward, my mom and I were having this discussion yesterday, and I love my mom, I do, but I said, Mom, why don't you just listen to me? She goes, I don't know. And I said, yeah, well, that's my life, right? So if you have a person that gives you good advice and they're right more often than wrong, just listen to them. They'll save you the heartache, okay? It would have been so much easier for her just to for me to get a box and have her just like do the little highlights or what do they call it? Like the little touch-ups. They have touch-up stuff, Jesse. So you can always do touch-up stuff on your gray. Why not? They have it for men, by the way. Did you know that?
True, but you know what? It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either. I got some in my hair, and then sometimes it I'm like, just, sometimes
I think the problem is for me is I really don't care what other people think.
Yeah, sometimes I don't either. But when you're like, maybe there's a particular person in your life, and they say something about your. At least I'm going to stop right there because I know I'm going to offend somebody. So there you go. Oftentimes hairstylists hate me because they're like, wow, you have such luxurious hair. And I'm like, what does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. They're like, well, my hair is thinning. It's a thing. So if you have it, flaunt it. If you don't, be okay with this. Sometimes, I'm going to shut up right there because I know somebody's going to be offended. I'm sorry. Not every size fits them all. But back to my mom. Anybody got some cool hair colors for her? I think green would be good. No, I wouldn't do green on my mom. Purple, maybe? Burgundy? What do you think? Let us know on social media chat room. We'll be right back with more right after these messages. Stay tuned. I know somebody out there is going to be like, your mom should do whatever she feels like. I know, but she's been going on a good few months where she's been wanting it colored, but it's just like, Mom, we got to do this safely. You can't just, plus she complains about her back and she's like, you can't stay there for too long. And so there's this whole situation. I'm like, Mom, it's not like a 30-minute cover up. It just isn't. It took about 8 hours for her to strip her hair from all black or dark brown, I believe. I think it was dark black at the time, to do what it is at now. And I get it. She was trying to save money. I get it. But still, there's ways around it. I'm just saying. So if there's a woman in your life that says, you know what? Forget it. Don't interfere. Okay. Especially if you're a dude and or another lady in their life, just interfere and say, hey, I think we need to go pick me up. Because no truth to the rumor, people feel better when they get their nails done. Right? As dudes, we don't understand that. We just don't. Right, Jesse? You don't understand that mentality.
No, I really don't.
But it's a thing. But let me put it in a way that you will understand it. If you buy a brand new game, how does that make you feel?
Ooh, good comparison.
To which I always tell the ladies, because they always go, oh, your stuff is so expensive. Your nails are like the price of a game. And I could play the game forever. It doesn't ever break on me. And don't worry about it. Seriously, if there's ever a woman in your life that talks like that, you just call it out. You're like, look, hair averages for a woman. Can we talk about that, ladies? Let's talk about that. I was surprised when I found out about that. Women on average for whole hair color treatment, minimum. It depends where you're at. That's true. But in Santa Monica, 180. Ask how much a blowout is. On average, $35. That's just for a blowout, to blow out your hair, Jesse, for one evening. Or what? They sometimes get more treatments like the Brazilian blowout and they have product. Not good for your lungs, by the way. That stuff's very, very chemically toxic, by the way.
We got a color recommendation for your mom.
Where is it?
From Bobby Stamps.
Bobby. I see it. Hot pink. Agreed. Disagree.
I agree.
I like this one. Algenia says, my daughter did her black hair purple. No joke. It's not bad. It worked on my mom. She was rocking it.
My mom colors her hair purple or like a black cherry. Looks nice.
Look at Rosalie. Yeah, right?
Ooh, Rosalie.
She says, I pay over $200. I told you, it's not cheap. So the lady in your life, if she takes longer than average, you say thank you. It's an investment. And it makes them feel good too. So I'll allow it.
2 seconds.
People are like, don't allow it. How dare you? But you know what I mean. I hope. That's right. It's the morning show right here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. Joining our live streaming audience, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope TV, and much, much more. Look, each and every one of you are chatting it up in social media. See, Hios understands me. Says, thank you for the advice. Seriously, there's some men that we need the real talk. And what I'm talking about is the lady in your life. Be okay with them spending the money because it makes them feel better, okay? And Rosalie over there says she pays over $200 for her hair care, right? It's no joke. Look at this one. See, men are completely unaware of this. Back to shoes. You ladies that have like cartonfuls of shoes that you wear maybe once, maybe 3 times, maybe 5 times max. Jesse, do you know how much these shoes are, Jesse?
Shoes are expensive, so
but more expensive than for men. Have you ever noticed that? You ask a lady, how much are your shoes? On average, guess what? $450.
What are they made out of?
Those are, yeah, that puts Jordans, like, well, Jordans are a little expensive nowadays, but I remember they used to be like max 180. But now the collector editions, right? But look, Algenia says chestnut brown, medium brown honey will match your skin tone. Just talking about my mom. In Dallas, I used to be a honey chestnut blonde for $150. It's a lot of money, seriously. But I say again, you know what? Be okay with it. If it makes your woman in your life feel happy, then let them feel happy. But the lady in your life needs to understand if you're the dude in the particular couple situation and your dude likes video games. I mean, Jesse, what's the average video game cost right now? Which, by the way, I'm looking at the new PlayStation. It looks amazing.
New games average around $60. So I'm not sure what the price is for the new system, but we'll see.
Yeah, so that's on average like a good new hair color, by the way. Probably $350, right? But $350 like a whole do-up in Santa Monica costs about $350. No joke. No joke. And how long does that last? Yeah, well, but it makes a woman feel good. But back to my comments about this. I'm just saying, the ladies, you got to be more understanding of the dudes in your life. Maybe they like automobiles. Maybe it's their thing. Maybe we don't buy makeup. No judgment to those that do. I just don't. Well, I have been known to put on cover-up makeup because, I go on camera a lot. But there you go. Let's see. Here's Algenia says, and admitting to it. I love these ladies for admitting to it. No, I rock Princess Diana hats. I owned 162 hats. That's a lot of hats.
Wow.
And they're not cheap. I'm just saying. Sometimes people, they take each other out and they go, you spend a lot of money. Well, you spend a lot of money. No, you. Oh, yeah, I do. Right. I always remember having that conversation with certain women in my life. But just be okay with saying, look, if it makes me feel good, as long as you don't go into debt, that's kind of the big thing. If you need to put food on the table and you're putting all the money in the feeling good, I say put some food in your belly that is better good than bad. But no judgment. No judgment. I get it. Let's see. Here's another comment by Rosalie. Says, my hubby's worse than me. Over 100 pairs of shoes, double the clothes, more hair product, and takes longer to get ready, and shopping is a problem. Oh, no. I think that's a first, Rosalie. We need like a hubby intervention there. Get him on the line. Right, Jesse? We need to talk him down off the roof there. That I don't know about 100 pairs of shoes. I've heard that to be the case, by the way. Anybody that has more than, okay, you know what? Social media question of the day. What is the average amount of shoes you think somebody should own? I guarantee you the majority of men out there will say less, but there are some that really like their shoes. I get it. Jesse, out of curiosity, how many pairs of shoes do you think you have currently?
I have 5.
I think I have about 8. And by the way, 3 of them were bought for me. You understand? So I didn't buy them. One was a gift. It was like a Father's Day gift. It was, don't make me cry. The little 8-year-old, he was 7 at the time. He got it for me. Little red slip-ons is what they're called, right? And I had never had slip-ons like that. And he took his mother and he bought me these just, he goes, we got to get something for him. It's like a Father's Day gift because, he did something with his own dad and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, made me cry because I was like, oh, thank you for, just viewing me like that. So to the young people in your lives, Always make room for them. Okay. You never know what kind of impression you're making for and or with them for life, right? You and I no longer see each other, unfortunately, but that's neither here nor there. But there you go. But I still miss the little guy. And I haven't talked about him a lot, but I'm going to talk about him in this sense. You know what? If you have somebody in your life like that, put food on the table and not on your feet. You understand? So, which again, back to his mom. His mom always was very proper with the money and always made sure to actually sell some of the stuff, which I know a lot of people are hitting it hard times right now. There are sites that you could turn to. Some people don't like to sell things themselves, so they give somebody else the time to do it. And then, back to my lady at the time, we're no longer together, but she would actually have a friend do it. And she would say, you keep the majority of the profits. You just give me a little something. Right. So there's people that make a business out of that, by the way, which is a good business, by the way, because some people want new looking stuff, which, let's face it, ladies, some of your stuff has probably been worn a multitude of like 5 times. What's the average person in here? Like, okay, let's see. Gordon Hyatt. Gordon, this is a dude's perspective. 15 for me. That's more than the average, I believe. But you know what? No shame. No shame. Let's see. It says, here we go. Dress shoes, work shoes, running shoes, flip-flops. Oh, I get it. So a wide variety. I get it. That's different. Let's see. Here's one. Rosalie says, no, laughing out loud, my fault, though. I thought, yay, this guy doesn't take or like camping or video games. He loves shopping like me. Wop, wop, wop. And I realized that I have to share the money.
Oh, my God.
Okay, that's funny because that's one of those, like, you thought it was going to go great, right? And then you're like, wait, we're the same? Oh, that could run up a pretty tab, too, by the way. But back to reality, okay? If you're hurting over there, be okay with letting some of these designer footwear, which I can almost guarantee they are, because nobody collects that many if they're not designer footwear, and put them on a site. There's so many different ones that you could sell them on. We've had a couple here on the show. Etsy, I think, is a place. There's places just for shoes. There's, hand-me-downs, but you can recoup some of the costs because, let's face it, the majority of that stuff you're not going to wear like unless he wears it every single day. It rotates right? So I think that's my thing to the ladies out there too, because I know you ladies, man, I've seen purses. Oh my God, Jesse, don't get me started on purses. I say this: the women make the economy go round. Do you understand what I'm saying? As men, we don't need much. I mean, I think about the purchases I make right now. I bought a shirt the other day and it killed me because it was like $30. That kills me. For a woman, that's a blouse. All right. That's a skirt. That's right. But my point is not to berate on anybody, but some of these purses, okay, what's the average purse you think costs, Jesse? Just out of curiosity.
$50. I'm gonna get it wrong. I know I am.
You would think. Here's an average purse, depending on the person in your life.
Okay.
The average purse is anywhere from about on the cheap end, $50, and that's for like a little tiny tote bag, right? This is a tiny tote bag. Average is very common, at least at $150 to $500. You're welcome for a purse. So I say this: if you're dating and looking for the lady in your life, if she could do it on herself, I have no judgment, but be prepared for the financial. You get where I'm going with this? Hero says, Louis Vuitton. Yeah, exactly. Gordon says, I don't shop much, but when I do, it's a lot. He says, it's too expensive for me to it's too expensive to spell right. So there you go. Algenia says, no, throw a virtual yard sale. Let me bring that up on camera. Like my cousin and I did. You can make a killing, ladies. Talk to me. Mommy can help. Yeah, it's true. You really can. Pull them out. Don't let them sit there, collect dust. Some of these are like fashion footwear, which somebody else might actually want and or need for maybe a little less. But something's better than nothing than just letting them sit there, right? You can't eat them when you need them. Back to our economy. Have you noticed? Taking a nosedive as we speak. So there you go. Look, I'm just saying, let go of certain things. Don't let go of all things. Still things that make you feel good. Keep doing that. If it's a hobby or if it's some me time or if it's something that just, makes a moment of you and maybe, I don't know, pamper yourself. Okay. Pamper yourself. I'm not judging anybody that spends a lot of money. If you have the money to spend, spend it. But I'm saying conserve it because I think we're in this for the long haul. Okay. At least another 4 or 5 years if we don't have a proper cure faster than later. And even if you have a proper cure, you have to manufacture that stuff to be able to distribute it around the world. You understand where I'm going with this? So, look, before we just all throw caution in the wind, save your money, count your dollars and your dimes and your nickels. All right. And make some money off that stuff while you can. Got it? Because pretty soon it's just, you can't even give it away. All right, people, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for spending time with us here on the morning show. Whatever you do, do it well. Go check out the La Femme Film Festival. It's happening this week, starting Thursday. I'm going to post, once again, some really cool interviews. If you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I'm reposting some of these filmmakers' interviews with me and our other co-host. Big shout out to our co-host, Adrusha Apana, Martha Casera, and, of course, Paulina Michaels. Why am I forgetting somebody? There's a fourth one there. That's right. Miss Sanchez, not the Sanchez, the no relation. Ariana Sanchez, again, really great lady. And I posted some of her videos. Go follow all of them on social media. I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez. Jesse over there, gonna color his hair soon. Let him know what color he should go with. What? I'm just saying it would be fun. I think purple would be fun on you, by the way. You can do it with Kool-Aid. It's cheap, inexpensive.
Yeah, I saw those YouTube things. It actually looks pretty funny.
It's a thing. All right. We'll be back tomorrow here on The Morning Show. Stay tuned for more right here at KMT 1490 AM. Download the app. It's free. All right, people, I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to this version of The Morning Show. And as we do each and every day, we try to spend a little bit of time with our friends and family across the international platform. So let's see who's there. Gordon says, great show. Thanks. Glad you. Yeah, I hope you're happier for it. Let's see. Also says, we are on vacation this week in Phoenix, heading to the Grand Canyon. Hey, you know what? You go have fun with that. That's what I'm talking about. Are you taking like one of those U-Haul? What do they call them? The RVs where you U-Haul the whole family, right? Which I've been wanting to do. I mean, it's just me. I'm solo. So now I'm thinking maybe I should just like drive myself across the country. But then I got to take care of my mom, so I can't do that. And I got to not throw caution to the wind. She's in the higher category, risk category. I'm not going to give her age out there. No truth to the rumor. She's looking younger and younger. But you know, I credit that to meditation. I've often told my mom, you know, how to bring her anxiety down, how to bring her spike in anxiety down, how to kind of free herself from a lot of the world news that sometimes gets a little crazy out there. I say focus on stuff you can help, not things you cannot help. And I think some people were commenting, oh, she looks so young. And I credit that to both meditation, taking care of herself. She's starting to watch what she eats as well. Very important because, you know, technically diabetic. So you got to even watch even more. But, you know, at least she's starting to listen. That's important. Sometimes we have to listen to the proper authorities out there in our lives, right? So there you go. What's my IG address? It's simple. Aaron M. Sanchez. It's super simple. Here, I'll type it out. Let's see. You know what? Let me go get it, and then I can tweet it out or Instagram it out. Hold on. Instagram. Actually, I think it's on my header, but how are you watching? Are you watching on... Hold on. I don't want to double the fun here. It's in the description if you're joining us on Facebook. Yeah, it's on the description. So just go ahead and check that. You can connect either which way. Let's see. Algenia is saying Grand Canyon is awesome. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. It's definitely one of the very few places that are on my list to go to. But there you go. And all right, so let's see other news that we didn't get to, and rightly so. Sometimes I don't like to get it all like depressing news, if you know what I mean. Sometimes I'm just like, really? I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that. But Apple is expected to unveil their first ever 5G iPhone. You're welcome. I know many of you. We were talking about my new phone, the Samsung Galaxy Note. Which is also 5G enabled. But check this out. Apple's expected to unveil. Today. That's happening today. Oh, my goodness. This is amazing. I think. Yeah. To set the scene, it's the biggest unveil in probably a decade for Tim Cook, tech industry analyst Dan Ives, managing director of equity research, said, I think it's a once in a decade product cycle around 5G. Okay. Darn it. I hope my phone's ahead of this one because I'm going to be really upset if I got the wrong phone. Going into the launch event, it's really Apple laying the groundwork for why consumers should upgrade to 5G and what makes it such a transformational technology upgrade for the iPhone 12. The event is slated to kick off at 1 p.m. Eastern time. What is that our time? 10, 11, 12, 1. No, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 10. 10, right? 10, 11, 12. I'm so tired. It's been one of those weeks. It will be streamed live on Apple's website. It is only promotional material for the event. Apple teased it would be about speed. That's like the Samsung Galaxy Note, people. Let's not be about speed because every phone should have the 5G capability, right? It should be about how cool is my iPhone now, all right? Which seemed to confirm the leaks and reports that the next iPhone will be 5G enabled. Well, I would hope so. I mean, 5G has kind of been around for a while. It's not rolled out in everywhere, by the way, just so you guys know. If you're like, because I still have pockets of area that are majority of 4G, but I can't wait to tap into wherever 5G is at. 5G, the much hyped next generation of wireless technology, promises lightning fast speeds on mobile devices. An example experts often give is that you could download the entire 8-season series of Game of Thrones in just a few minutes. That's how lightning speed it is. Apple's top competitor, Samsung, yeah, that's my phone, has already rolled out a 5G phone. Yeah, you're welcome. Something that Ives has said has hurt Apple in China and other Asian markets. The COVID-19 pandemic and supply chain issues have also delayed Apple's iPhone 12 rollout. No wonder it took a while. I was wondering about that. Still, the iPhone 12 event comes at a time Ives dubs the window of upgrade opportunity, or when some 40% of iPhones in use worldwide have not been upgraded in nearly 4 years. Yeah, but do they want to spend the money now is my question. The coronavirus pandemic and its ensuing financial crises also loom large. A $1,000 phone is more expensive today than it was a few months ago, given all the unemployment in the backdrop. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to have to come down in price. He went on, there's going to be a lot of curiosity among consumers about what does 5G get me, and I think that's the opportunity, but also the challenge for Cook and team in the unveil. So look, no truth to the rumor. That's going to be a pretty cool iPhone, I hope. Although if I by tomorrow I'll say I'm so glad I got my Samsung Galaxy Note, and I wish, because part of me is like, oh, I hope I didn't buy the wrong one. But there you go. We'll see. We venture to see what's going to come out with this. I am an iPhone person through and through. Again, I have not gotten rid of my iPhone. That's my iPhone, right? Because I still love the way it works. It's very reliable. It's easy to type on. My Samsung's a little problematic on the typing. I don't really like the autocorrect feature, which, by the way, I shared something yesterday on my social media feed. I'm going to ask this of each and every one of you. Some of you probably already said it. Here's the question of the day. Are you ready? It is name. No, that's not the one. Yeah, sure. Okay. Name a favorite thing to do to reduce stress. Are you a little stressed out? Here's some suggestions, okay, from my audience members on my social media feed. If you're not following me, go check it out. Aaron M. Sanchez. Okay. And I'll look for the official check mark. I got like 5 pages. They're all profiles. But the official page is the one you want to get on. Okay. Let's see. Take a bath. I like that one. That comes from Liz. Jennifer, gaming. Totally agree with you. I need to get a game. Lori, I can say this, right? Because I'm not on radio. Yeah, sex. Okay, you know what? I think we all need a little bit of that. Corey, again, no judgment. Make some coffee. All right, that one makes sense. Audra says, let's see. Let's go back up to this one. Somebody did a gif of weed. Okay, you know what? Each to their own. Not for me, but maybe for you. Do it in safe quantities, by the way, because I'm hearing of a lot of people get the wrong batch and or get other pesticides as part of it. If you don't believe me, there's some really bad stuff going on when it comes to marijuana use. Some people are ending up in the hospital. And it's not being talked about, by the way, but some are getting overdoses. Some are getting the wrong batch, by the way. And if you get it off the street, you throw yourself and your own family at risk because you might have a hallucinogenic reaction from that weed that you're smoking. Just saying. Audra says, listening to Classic FM. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening to just radio, which is revolved, right? It's now online. It's a thing. Shane says, I brush my cats to ease tension and stress. It's very therapeutic. You know what? There is thing that pets are really good for, which actually ease your. But it's usually if you use your hand. I don't know about the brushing. Although you don't want that like fur in your eyes, right? I hate that. Angelita says meditation. You know what? I agree with you, Angelita. I've been doing a lot more of that, more than most. Anate says swim or float in the water. You know what? That's a really good one. I've been wanting to do the sensory deprivation one. Does anybody ever done that? I just want to be like in my own space of just, you know, where they like lock it down and there's like, you can't hear anything, you can't see anything. It's like you're saying, they say that's pretty good for meditation. I've been wanting to do that for quite some time. Not sure where it is safe to do it though. Let's see. She also went on to say Orca hot bath with Epsom salts. Oh, by the way, I can recommend that. If you do lavender with any type of Epsom salt, some of them you could buy them like at CVS, Walgreens. I've done that. There's one, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like in a purple bag. It's really good. Dr. something. But use that and your body will thank you. Do that before you go to bed. You will sleep like a baby. If you fit in the bathtub. I don't fit in the bathtub. So it sucks to be 5'11" and above. So the men in your life, get a proper tub. That's what I say. Let's see. I seriously, tubs are made for ladies to like take baths in, not for men. I'm just saying. At least anybody over what, 5'8", right? Because your legs are like, my feet. Women, I admire when women can be like, you know, all in the like bathtub. I'm like, it's made for you, not made for me. Let's see. Mary says cold bath. Why would that? Oh, maybe after like a good workout. Yeah, there was that helps out. I don't know. I would never do a cold bath. That's crazy. But you know what? More power to you, Mary. Gabriella says yoga. I one time did what's the yoga that's it's not yoga, but there's versions of it. Oh, the bar method. Ladies, if you've done the bar method, that and men, you're not fit till you've done the bar method. It is basically like ballerina-esque, but don't knock it till you try it. On steroids, because you do half an hour of that, you are sore for 3 days straight. It's a great workout, good for the body, by the way. Good to like, you know, trim up the line as well, because there's a lot of stretching involved, a lot of really good stuff. It's really a good one to take up. Bar Method, go check it out. I think they even have an online class for you to do too. If you want to go next level, do the bar method. Seriously, it's. I had to be careful because my ligaments, my knee is bad. So you gotta, you know, not go crazy. Dismal Cat says, cuddle with my dog. Hey, there's no shame in that, right? I think your dog appreciates it too. They have feelings too, by the way. They do. Emotional sympathy feelings. I know of one therapy dog, which I actually had to kind of have timeout for like a week because he would always visit the hospital. So sometimes dogs actually do need a little timeout from Crazyville called coronavirus. Harry or Hari, big shout out to him who owns Tequila 88, says chilled shot of tequila. So he's got lots of it too. I mean, you know, he's the guy. So go check it out. 88 Tequila, pretty cool stuff. Mara tuning in says read. You know what? There's no shame in that. I say, what is a good book you've read as of lately? Because I've been looking for a good read. Amber says running. See, that one doesn't do it for me. If anything, that makes me tired. But I guess for some people, it clears their mind. And I say, you know what? If that does it for you, then do more of it. For me, it's martial arts, actually. Just throwing a good punch and being correct on form is more important to me now than ever, right? And or shooting a handgun. And that's therapeutic, man. And not, you know, like in a shooting range. It's so therapeutic. All right. Mark, quit your job. I'm gonna back up on that one. Sometimes I say to some people, if you have a job, keep it right now. Don't. I mean, unless you have a better job waiting, which you think that the company's not going to close down. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You got a job, be happy with it. Okay. Seriously. Don't. I mean, unless it's that bad, Mark, then you can like live off your savings, but whatever. No judgment. Each to their own. Anna says, dance. Okay. Well, you know what? You go do yourself. And sometimes find a partner. And you know what? Even if you don't have a partner, do it yourself. So many women I know and men, seriously, just do it. Okay. I know some of you are like, you like to sit on your butts, right? You're like, oh, whatever. You know what? Make it about her. Don't make it about you. I personally do not like to dance. I dislike it very much. But I've had to pick up on it because it's like, you know what? If that makes a lady feel good in your life, then do it. You don't want to be the guy letting somebody else dance with your lady. Just saying, you should be the guy ready to go on the dance. And trust me, if your lady likes to dance and all of a sudden she's just sitting there with like her tapping of her foot, she's trying to make you, let's put it this way. Give her the moment in the sun to shine. Just be that guy. Doesn't matter if you can't even hold a tune and or a beat. She doesn't care. She just wants to move. Move with her. Okay. Seriously, man. Keep your women happy. Let's see. Margarito says breathe deep. Back to meditate. And you know what? That's good. I always say do that at least like a good few minutes, especially if you're feeling a lot of chest anxiety. Sometimes you get like, you get short of breath, but once you do that, you do like a 5-second rule, hold it for 3, then let it out slowly for 7. You do that 5 times a day. You'll think clearly if you already have problems with anxiety. Just saying. Wendy says, sit in my massage chair. Oh, I want me one of those so bad. So expensive. Lisa says, turn off cable news. Yeah, right. I know. Betty says, music and odd enough deep cleaning my home. So there you go. Okay, what are some of your things that you guys use? Let's see here. Here's Algenia. She agrees. Yes, dancing. That's a cool one. Boxing. That's even better. Let's see. She's got another one. Chilling with ocean relaxation of Native American food or my boy Charlie Wilson or Kenny G. I'm not going to judge on the Kenny G comment. I used to like that guy. I did until like all the memes made fun of him. To download for evening. Kingdom Song first. All right, cool. Let's see. Bobby says, I just go to sleep or swim. You know what? I say do the latter other than the sleeping. You know why? Sometimes, and I get it, sometimes we need to sleep, but don't get so depressed that all you want to do is sleep. That's a wrong path to a wrong feeling. You understand what I'm saying? So if you feel that way, push yourself to do something to exhaust yourself to be, look, here's what I say. And I think a lot of you will agree with me, okay? In life, we all just want to throw the covers over our head and just say, what the what, right? I've experienced that multiple times throughout the last 5 months. Okay. There are moments I just like, I just want to just do just that. And 3 of those times, I actually think I did that. And I had a really good nap. And then I woke up and I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, right? But the point is when it becomes a habit, and then your sleeping cycle's off, and then you're just like, you're just going through each and every day, just depressed, sad, no matter what's going on in your life, right? And I know each and every one of you have your own situation, but switch it up a little, okay? Switch it up. And even if you have to like do a little, there are some videos that I would recommend. I'm going to post one right now. Let me go look it up. This one's really good. And I like to listen to it. Let's see. Hold on. Let me type in YouTube. And as I'm doing that, let me know maybe if you have a particular method. Because I talk a lot about meditation, but I think a lot of people don't understand what it is, right? And there's some videos out there that are not good for you, by the way. So I'm going to give you one that I think is really good. The very generality. And it's meditation for anxiety. Okay. And these are good videos just to listen to, and they will help you out through it. Let me see here. The one that I use is not coming up. This one's actually not that bad. Let me do this one. It's from the Honest Guys, and you know what? It's only 12 minutes to 29 seconds, okay? And because some people I know don't know how to talk themselves down a bit, okay? And this is good with headphones. It's 12 minutes, so and even if you do this before you go to sleep, you're going to sleep so much better. All right, so I'm going to post this to social media. I don't usually share this type of stuff, but you guys are my friends, right? You're not going to judge. I know some of you are going to judge, but you know what? I don't really care. It helps whenever I turn people on to some of these. It actually helps them. Don't listen to every single meditation one because some of them are just filled with subliminal conscious minds that you don't really want in. But this is a better one than most, okay? I'm going to go and say, again, share responsibly. Here it is. And if you click on that and that'll walk you through a very honest exercise that will help you out throughout life. Okay. And just put that on when you feel really stressed, mad, or anxiety. And just listen to it and just bring your emotional center down and your stress level down by doing this video. I would turn it on audio, but I don't think I'll probably get I'll probably get dinged for it. So watch it on your free time, okay? So there you go. But that's it. I think that's my message. Okay, my message is this: if you are finding it quite stressful to stay awake and you want to go to sleep and just put the covers over your head, do that video at the very least, and or take some me time. All right, take some me time and say, you know what, I need to step away from the situation and or this stressful moment in my life and just take some me time. Right, you time, not me time, you time. And just do that just for a bit, okay? And see if at least, put the decision-making process on hold if you can. Control what you can control. Let go of the rest. Anything that is out of your controllable circumstance, you just have to say, release and let go. When you release and let go, things start to make way for things that are necessary to come into your life. This is not a myth. It is not a fantasy. It is not even untrue. It used to be told to me that about 12 years ago when I was going through some very difficult times. And I realized that it's more true than ever before. If you let go of the negativity, if you let go of the hate, that's all I'm going to keep it on that. Because look, some people are negative because of the things that happen in their life. And I say, that's okay. It's okay to sometimes feel a bit like, why doesn't God do something for me? Right? But I will say this, through all of your anxiety if prayer helps you, then do that. Sometimes you need additional help, and that video helps you as well. But, whatever it is for you, go back to that. Sometimes we have to go back to our teenage years, right? When everything was like, everything's fine, fun, and relaxing, right? Sometimes you have to go back to your teen years and think about the things that you used to like to do as a teenager. Sometimes we haven't done those things because we've been so far removed from what we used to like to do as a teenager. But as a teenager, we're probably used to, maybe it's just listening to good music. Maybe it's just dancing. Maybe it's just for the dudes out there. Maybe it's going on a bicycle ride, right? Maybe it's running. Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's punching a bag. Maybe it's taking jujitsu and or another safely distanced martial art. For the elderly out there, there's a lot of cool martial arts that get your body moving, to which I've learned quite a lot from. And I say, you know what? Each to their own. Whatever helps you with your energy and or your anxiety and or your frustration, whatever brings you down to a good calm, so that in the face of a big storm, you're the person that people turn to in their lives, because you're the one that says, you know what? It's okay. Let's get through it. Done, and done. Right? So let's be that person for our friends, our family members, and those that we love. Okay? Do more of that. Be more at peace. Even amid a world that is quite unpeaceful, I think we each can at least find at least a good 5 minutes of alone time and say, it's okay to have alone time. It's okay to let go of things I can't control. It's okay to say, maybe I don't know everything. It's okay to say, I might need help. And I know you're up there. Can you help me out? It's okay. Sometimes people are not okay with releasing the help to someone above. But it's okay. It's okay to realize we're not alone. It's true, we can't see the spirit world. It's true, we can't hear the spirit world. But think about all the angels that are right there, ready and willing to help you at a moment's, well, I know, Now we're getting into theology, and people are uncomfortable with theology. Let's put it this way. If you're a person of faith, most likely you have a belief system that says there's more to life than just what you see. There's more to life than just what you hear. There's more to life than what you just feel. Sometimes we can't put it into words, but we know there's something more out there. Some of us call it the universe. Some of us call it a higher source. Some of us call it a higher something. Whatever your higher thing is, let it be higher than your own thoughts. Let it be one that which you, when you say and or think, please help me. There's a proverb that says, groanings unuttered. Groanings unuttered. Meaning, sometimes we groan in our spirit. We don't know how to say it. We don't need to express it. Because evidently, the higher source already knows what it is we're feeling. That puts a different perspective on things, does it not? Maybe you're not a person who likes to have me time alone, saying a quick little prayer, saying, can you please help me? I'm going through something in life I cannot do on my own. I need somebody, anybody, whoever you have up there, help me out. Just help me. Ask for help. And then be open and willing for the help to come into your life. Sometimes it'll all of a sudden come from an unexpected phone call. Sometimes it'll come from an unexpected person saying, you know, I was thinking about you. All of a sudden, it might come from somebody that you may not even like. And all of a sudden, they are saying, you know what? I just thought of you. Are you okay? God uses people. And if you don't believe me, and you're a person who professes faith in something, maybe you just profess faith in Quran. Maybe you profess faith in the Bible. Maybe you profess faith in ancient manuscripts. Maybe you profess faith in whatever it is that you profess faith in. It's usually in written form. And usually it's not written by an angel or a spirit being. It's written by a human hand. We're put on this earth, and oftentimes people are used on this earth, many which don't even know why. Sometimes you might have an inspirational thought. Maybe it's a dream. Maybe it's something. Some people call it the subconscious mind. I like to call it, well, it doesn't matter what I call it. What matters is that you learn to be aware there's something more to life than just what you see, what you hear, what you think is out there. There's something more, trying to keep the universe all together and in its proper place. I know some are thinking, the science mind, that is, well, I don't know about that. There are some stars that go extinct. They blow up. There are asteroids that hit, cause devastation. To which I say, well, we're still here, are we not? You're still here. I'm still here. We're still here on this earth going through space. And yet at the very end of the day, at the end of all of it, come on, do you really think we're alone? Do you really think that there's not a higher being, a supreme being, an intelligent being that helped put all of this and keeps it all in balance? Do you really think it all came by chance? I'm not judging if you believe that. I am not. But when things happen, as they're currently happening around the world, do we really want to hold on to that way of thinking of saying, yep, I'm alone. Got no one to think about me. There's no one that wants me. There's nobody that cares about me. There's just no one. There's no one. I think there's a whole army thinking about the humanity on Earth. I think there's a whole army ready to go at a moment's notice, eventually. I think there's a whole army wanting to help you out. And if you've ever exhibited some type of kindness, some type of good act towards somebody else, who do you think put that into your heart to begin with? When you were born, when we're all born, a good majority, I'd say the majority, want to do and help out their fellow friend. Even the most hateful person in life might be hateful to another race and or another person. But oftentimes there's at least one person that they will say, oh, I'll help my friend out. Who really is your friend? Who really is that person that you call good friend? Friends sometimes come and go. It's true. And some friends you never have to see, and yet you always know you can give them a phone call. A simple, hey, you okay? Sometimes we forget our Heavenly Creator. And sometimes we forget all the armies of spirit creatures that are doing all the work behind the scenes, just trying to keep everything from going ultra crazy. And don't believe me? Hey, we're still here, people. We are still here. You are still here. If you're watching, you are still here. And you're here for a reason. It's true. Most people don't ever see angels. Most people don't ever feel angels. Most people don't even know angels exist. Some people don't even believe it's called angels. Some people think it's called energy. Some people think it's called ancestors. Some people think it's called heaven. Some people think it's called whatever you think it's called. Let it be higher than your own thinking. Let it be one in which you say, I love life, and I realize I'm put on this earth to help mankind each and every day. Because at a time like this, let's face it, we're being made to think a lot more, are we not? And some of us are unhappy with our lot in life. Some of us are unhappy with moments that we have in our life that we never thought, wait, how did I get here? Some of us are out of a job. Some of us have family members that turned against us. Some of us don't have any of that. We still have frustration. Whatever that thing is in your life, it could be different for each and every one of you. But I say this. Stop thinking about yourself and think about someone else. Start thinking about the person in your life, the friend you used to call friend. Maybe they're a long lost friend. Maybe they moved away. Give them a call. You know what's so easy? Picking up Messenger and just saying, hey, I thought about you today. I did that with a multitude of people. Granted, I don't have any more time to do that because now my life went crazy, busy all of a sudden again. But it has its ebbs and flows, right? If you find you have a little bit more time, maybe that's your version of me time. Let it be your version of me time. Hey, I'm going to go check out on somebody I haven't called in a long time, somebody I haven't reached out to and or messaged. Sometimes the thing I love about social media is sometimes we have the ability to go check up on them, right? And we see their Facebook wall and or their Instagram page or their Twitter, whatever. And we see just, all good things. We're like, oh, they're doing fine. That's on the forefront. And sometimes we see some that I say are very adamant about how they're feeling, and yet all I see are just quick little messages of encouragement. Sometimes I message somebody in inbox and I say, hey, I don't ever say you want to talk about it. I just say, hey, just want to let you know, here if you need someone to speak with. Sometimes we need to be that sounding board. Back to a higher being. Groanings unuttered is still something that the Grand Creator knows about. And sometimes the Grand Creator knows how to put things into our lives to suddenly make it a-okay for us to keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing through. Keep pushing. Keep moving. Keep moving forward. And if you go back, it's okay. Go back and learn something from it. Go back and say, I regret that action. I hope I never go back to that type of way of thinking. Be okay with saying, I was wrong. Be okay with telling people in your life, I thought I had it all. I didn't. I thought I was smart. I wasn't. I thought I was always doing the right thing. I realized it wasn't the right thing. Be okay with admitting fault. You know why? We all need that humility. So many of us have lost touch with our own selves that sometimes we think being prideful, having a lot, being very successful is the way to be. And at the end of the day, I don't think God judges. He says, good job. Good job. Who else did you help in that life? Oh, I put a lot of people to work. Well, then good job. And if you're on the flip side of that, and you're the humble one, the one that's constantly oppressed by the prideful person, the egotistical person, the person in your life that says, whatever. I still say, God, is it still a good job? To which I think God says, yeah, even more so. I love that one. Even more so, I love that one because they always try to do the right thing. I don't want them to become egotistical, prideful, and or never wanting to ask me for help. You know, I ask people for help all the time and they never listen. I say, take care of this earth. Take care of those things I created for not just you, but for generations to come. I ask, and they don't want to listen. I ask that they just take care of earth, that they not bring it to ruin, that they not kill off one another through nuclear explosion, that they not go to war anymore. I just ask, but they don't listen. I put it into their hearts. I put it into their hearts from the beginning of birth, and yet somewhere along the line, they just forgot. They just forgot why they're here. Sometimes we forget because we get so pressed down with so many anxieties, so many frustrations, so many levels of frustration that we just don't think about others in our lives. We become so... Well, when you got to put food on the table, who are you going to put food on the table for? Everybody else or those that are closest to you? Your kids, your children, you, yourself, maybe one other person, whoever it is. That's usually your immediate circle. And your immediate circle, come on, God, right? Trying to do a lot here, God. To which I think God says, I know. And that's why I love my humble servant. Humble is what they are, and humble. This is why I have a great army gathering in heaven, waiting to take out the evildoer. This is why there will be a judgment among evildoers, for they bring great devastation on all this earth that I created to be inhabited. I created it to be a happy time, not a frustrating moment time. I created it to be one in which people would say, I love my life. I love all that is around me. I love the beauty. I love the animals. I love to see the animals play. I love to see life in all of its splendor, in all of its glory. But this earth has been ruined. I get it. Some say, no, it's not. This is always the thing. Come on. If you had a house and your house suddenly started spraying chemicals in the air and you could barely see through your house going, what's that unsightly fog in my house? You would be up in arms. It's called bug disinfectant. You have a lot of fleas. Oh, got it. Okay. You understand? If you had a tenant What would you do to that tenant? If you visit it, you go, you didn't take care of my house. I'm bug spraying it. Well, you shouldn't be in the house while you bug spray it. Seriously, right? I mean, come on. And yet, so many people are not talking about the Earth's environment right now. Agree to disagree. It's always been that way. No. There are cleaner ways to do it. This isn't a talk about Environmental Protection Act or the financial need to invest in safer alternatives. It's really a talk about sometimes we're so one-sided with the ultimate creator. Why aren't you helping me? Why do I feel so frustrated? I'm so upset. I'm so mad. Can't believe that person did me wrong. Why could you not get at them? Talk about karma. How about karma? I think you created karma, right? How dare you? Just let that person get their karma. Because seriously, here I am trying to do all that's right, and nobody is trying to come to my stead. Nobody's trying to help me out. And I think God says in that moment, I get it. You are upset. I get it. There's only so much I can do. My hands are tied for now. But I do have some other spirit creatures that you can ask for help because I have apportioned at least 3 of them with you right now. Oh, really? Thanks. Well, let's get to work, guys. Right? And I think those spirit creatures are like, we got this person as our, okay, fine. Right? I think they take a lot of time off. I think time is different in that sphere than it is in our sphere, right? I think time moves slower for them so that they can take a lot of off time in their world, right? Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. But yeah, I think they move so quick, right? That's why we can't see them because they're like hummingbirds, right? Right? You ever see a hummingbird wings? You can't see until you slow it down. You realize they're just doing that. That's the way they're operating, right? Really fast, really fast. You're like, where are they at? Where are they at? Right? They're so fast, they're vibrating at such a high frequency that they're so fast that they come and go, and then they're like, you still haven't done that yet? Okay, right. So they do the things that they need to do. Thank God they have wings, right? They can go like across country, go talk to that person, say, hey, this person's thinking about you. They touch their forehead, boop, and you're like, I'm thinking about somebody, right? All of a sudden, kind of like The Flash. You ever seen that? The Flash? Great film over there. More of the CW versus the DC, but still moves super fast, so fast, and then everybody's like, and it kind of moves their hand such a way to be able to block and or get away from the bullet, right? I think angels do that in the invisible realm, and they just don't get any credit, right? They don't get any credit, and I think it's because the majority of us, we just can't see them, right? To which I say, God, I mean, you can't blame us, right? We can't see you guys, so but I think God sometimes says, yeah, but you don't see wind, do you? No. You don't see what's called or referred to as dark matter. What's actually an improper way of looking at it. It's more of an energy that keeps everything moving forward. You don't see gravity, do you? No. You don't see heat, do you? Oh, yeah, I do, actually. I see the effects of it. Well, then there you go. Oh, right. Yeah. Infrared is a thing, right? We don't see an infrared color. And if you do, that's pretty awesome. But God sees everything in all its different shapes, sizes, and appearances, and much, much more into the world and how everybody affects change and how you can cause effect for good change and or bad change and or evil change. Don't forget that. But I think God says to us in his universal all-knowingness, I get it. It's not the world I created for you. It's not the way I wanted it to go down. I get it. There's a proverb in the Bible that says, throw your sufferings upon me and know that my load is light. Know that I care for thee. Know that I love thee. Know that I want. Sometimes we forget that. And sometimes we put on undue pressures on other people. Some are just trying to make ends meet. So, sometimes Get outside of the realm of possibility and say, you know what? Maybe there is something to this world that we live in. Something is unseen to the naked eye, something that might be unseen to me. But even the animals kind of like, you ever see a dog or a cat go, meow? You're like, what are you looking at? There's nothing there. What if that's the helper trying to help you out, right? Sometimes it's not a helper. Sometimes it's like a really bad, evil entity. But whatever. No judgment. My point is this. I think dogs and cats were put on this earth to make us aware there's something else out there that we don't see and or hear, right? They have supersonic ears and super ability to see different wavelengths of light than we do. And I think they just are good reminders that, hey, something's there. I didn't know it was there, but there it is, right? Effects of the unseen realm coming into existence with our own. Some of it call it quantum theory, by the way. A very interesting discussion of science. Some scientists do believe quantum theory exists and that it's more real than saying our grand creator who created the quantum theory development of theory to begin with, right? But whatever you call it, multidimensional travel, aliens, and or ability to be able to visit other worlds through thought processes or astral travel, whatever it is that you want to or don't want to believe in, it doesn't matter. The point is, I think for each and every person, it's different and real for each and every person. But at the end of the day, we have to remember this. In life, there's something called help. It's called a help hotline. And it's 1-800. All you have to do is think about it. And it's so. You know, there's a theory about twins in two different locations, okay? Let me throw this theory out there. And you probably, stop me if you probably heard it already, but twins or brother and sister, unusually tied to one another, right? Maybe at opposite ends of the world. And yet when something happens in somebody else's life, suddenly they go and they feel a sense of feeling. Some a sense of knowing, some a sense of just feeling, right? Something feels off with my twin brother and or sister. And then they pick up the phone. They find out something happened. Don't believe me, talk to twins. Twins, very interesting. And I think the biology has something to do with it as well. The mind frequency of two different, but almost same biochemistry are interlinked with one another back to energy. One of the best forerunners of energy was Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla was spoken of as being a little bit on the supernatural side, meaning he just kind of knew things, right? He came up with the alternating current that we have today. If you have energy and you're not in certain portions of DC current, which Edison came up with, alternating current, he says, came to him in a vision, right? During the day, by the way. And it just came to him like a light. But fast forward in his life, when his mother became very sick, he suddenly felt it in his body. And he has a very common theme. It's by Nikola Tesla. And some of you have reposted. Some of you maybe don't even know who Nikola Tesla was. I believe in the last 8 to 15 years, Nikola Tesla's information has come out a lot more so than ever before. He didn't get credit for it. He died penniless, by the way. But he came up with a lot of the things that we all use day in and day out. So I say he was able to put into many ways into the theory of science what already is existing there, but we don't know what to call it. And again, this it might be confusing to some. I'm going to try to make sense for it for you in just a moment. But here it is. Nikola Tesla said this: if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Well, what is energy? Energy is something that's quite frankly usually unseen, but felt and or transmitted through a line to create light? All right. Some of us generate a certain amount of energy just by running in place. Does that make sense? You generate your body might heat up because you're generating enough energy. Watch, rub your hands together. Do this, right? Do that right now. That's called heat generation, right? Some call that friction, right? But hold it like that for a good minute. Just keep going, keep going. All right? Don't worry, you're not going to burn your hands. I mean, you don't go too fast, right? Your hands will be fine. Just wait for it, okay? Do it in a circle like this. Just do it. Just participate. It's simple. Just do it. Just rub your hands really fast together. There it is, the heat. Ready? Go a little bit longer than me. But here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're going to feel something that you probably have never felt before. It's almost like a force field. Try it. It's interesting. You generated a lot of energy in your hands. And there'll be a little prickly sensation in your hands. That's called energy that's around you. You've heated up your hands so much. Technically, you've created the molecules around your hand. The frequency, you've elevated it. And there's a bit of vibration. And then it dissipates. It's gone. Interesting, right? Monks spend years meditating in order to get to a higher thought process, right? Many call it to transcend. Some call it to travel to another world in your mind. Some people could send healing thoughts to others. Some people could send energy, because energy doesn't dictate to the same ways of science. If you don't believe me, there are astrophysicists that talk about energy, how it can be transmitted. There's theories out there through time and space. It does and travel in the same ways. But back to something that everybody knows and loves, Star Wars, right? The Force. Some people call it, in Bible terms, the Holy Spirit, an active force. Yeah, you probably never thought the Bible and Star Wars could go together, right? In other translations, it says it a little differently, but it is something that's just unseen by the naked eye. Now, heat you can actually monitor through an infrared lens. It's true. But the effects of it, very interesting. So thought. Your brain is an amazing engine that we often don't even give it credit for, right? If you took away your whole body and took your brain and put it into a device, you could power up, anything really. Don't believe me? That's not science fiction. It's a fact. Some brains are put on layaway. Don't believe me? There's some scientists that they put their brains on layaway on purpose, right? Well, if you could just tap into the right neural signal of the brain, cause it to be able to be lit up again. Well, that's the question about consciousness, right? Does consciousness live in the brain, and or is it an energy that enters the brain, also known as the human body and or soul? Or does that energy of mind thought process go somewhere and then come back to inhabit at evidently like maybe a little security code, right? Maybe God goes, okay, let's see, you're over there. You need to be back down there. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to just transfer your consciousness from here down to there. And so you can like communicate with the humans on Earth. Got it? Okay, cool. All right. And done. And boom, right? That was called Lazarus. No? Oh, he didn't go into heaven? Oh, yeah. But some say it was in God's memory. Well, how did he, right? Did the consciousness stay in the brain, remain dormant? And, or did it get, when he got resurrected by Jesus all of a sudden? Well, Jesus said he was sleeping, actually. So, when people sleep, they're conscious. Even when you sleep, you still dream, right? But what does it mean? Sleeping, as in a deep sleep. So basically the consciousness was somewhere. Was it bottled up in the brain of that person or what? Because Jesus came back in a different body. Don't believe me? Read the text. The subtext there says that he came in a spirit body, right? So he had a spirit body, he had a human body, but his human body was different than a spirit body. So when he had to show, they were like, "No, look, and here's my hands." He's like, "Oh my God," right? But even Mary didn't recognize, like, who? She didn't say, "Hey, it's obviously you," right? Anyway, agree to disagree. Look, there's a lot of text that you got to read on that, but here's a working theory. Okay, it's a theory, it's just mine. It's not a But what if the energy of the mind is just that? It's energy bottled up in the brain. And if you don't believe me, the Bible speaks about heaven. Some faiths say some are co-rulers in heaven, right? So obviously transference of energy, mind, and or thought can be transferred from the physical realm into the other realm, whatever realm you want to call it. People go, I take issue with heaven, went higher than that, went into outer space, didn't see no kingdom of God. Well, it's a multi-dimensional theory. Quantum mechanics explains it better than most even will ever understand it, right? Another multi-dimensional, well, you know what, that gets a little crazy. I'm not going to go there. People be like, what is he talking about? It doesn't matter. But look, focus on this, okay? It's the invisible realm. Just call it that. It's the invisible realm, but sometimes people experience it in the physical realm. Don't believe me? You see something move, you're like, that wasn't normal, right? Some of you know that. Trust me, I know, because I have friends that have seen paranormal things and or experienced paranormal things that they just don't want to talk about, but they know it exists. You may not have to see it. You may not need to feel it. You just know it's there. Spend any amount of time in a haunted castle, right? And you will suddenly go, oh, no, there's an invisible realm. I don't understand it. I don't know it, but I don't need to know it to know I'm getting out of here, right? All of a sudden you believe it, right? But people believe in the evil in the world. They forget about the good in the world. The invisible realm that's on the good side, keeping everything alive. So I think at the end of this discussion, remember that. Even if you don't want to believe in another world or another realm or another dimension, whatever you want to call it, think in the terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, and you will understand the meanings of life. Because the other world works in this way. They operate in this way. They may not have the physicality that we have, but they move around as energy moves at a higher frequency, probably the highest frequency that we can only hope to achieve because we are technically just human. Oh, and by the way, when you are at a very high frequency, you vibrate at a high frequency. Don't believe me? Look at the flash. That right there. Just watch that. You'll understand energy, frequency, and vibration, how it all works. But transmittance of thought back to prayer and or thinking good thoughts about somebody else and or harmful thoughts can cause somebody to want to feel good and or to feel good or just to feel bad. You decide. Because believe it or not, what you just heard right now was a formation of words which are being uttered through vibration. And what I say is at a particular frequency that are being heard by your ears. Well, and in order to keep this body moving, I got to have energy in it, right? There's so many different ways we can like tie these all together. But thought, word, and deed. Frequency, energy, vibration. Think in these terms and you will get the secrets of the universe. Look, it's much more complicated than just that statement alone. But he understood something about energy. It is already here. Nikola Tesla was able to tap into the Earth's ionosphere. Well, not really. He wanted to. And he wanted to send electricity around the world that anybody could obviously tap into. He said it's free. It's already there. The Earth itself is a geomagnetic, amazing world that you could transmit energy from one location, which is what he tried to do in his later years, and it faltered. But not of his own doing, of those that just wanted to monetize on it. Don't believe me? Look at solar panels, okay? Solar panels are amazing. They harness the sun's energy, and yet here we are still burning fossil fuel, doing it the old way instead of doing it what is technically a better, safer version than, I mean, let's face it, if everybody was allowed to put on solar panels onto each and every house and you were able to connect into your own power grid, the power companies would have a problem with it. You understand? That's what ended up making Nikola Tesla broke in the end. They locked it away. Don't believe me? Look up information about his patents and his things and his being, his way of doing things. And he was a very spiritual man. Don't believe me? Some of the things that talk about it, very interesting about Nikola Tesla. But there you go. All right, people, I've run out of time, but whatever you do, remember this. We are not alone on this earth. And if you feel we are, it's okay. It's all right. But just remember, hey, you still have humans on this earth. You can't do it alone. We all got to pull all of our resources together. We all got enough energy. And if not, drink a Red Bull. I got 3 right here. And if you think of frequency, think of your mouth and what you speak and or what you want to say. You have a lot of frequencies going up in this brain, by the way. It's called thought processes. You know, when people are in comas, they can now determine through science, they can hook up all these electrodes to your brain at different intervals throughout the brain. And they can determine now sections of the brain that create thought, word, and or deed. They can know what you're going to do before they do it because they study it in other people. They say, oh, okay, this is that portion of the brain that makes them feel in love all of a sudden because this portion starts to light up. And they're able to see the energy or frequency that you're emitting through your brain through science now. It's an amazing science. So much so, they're having the ability to be able to, if you were in a coma, well, could they peer into what you were thinking? I don't think we're there yet. But if you're unable to speak, they can determine through your brain's wavelengths. They're working on it right now. I saw a really interesting documentary, very interesting, where they can determine what your thoughts are or your words are that you're trying to emit without using your mouth. Back to prayer. If the Creator put this ability and doesn't need a physical apparatus to determine what it is you're thinking and or feeling and or sensing or your emotional state and what you're in, are we all really technically wired up, connected, and or disconnected from the heavenly realm to want to say, you know what? I get it now. Why you say pray with your mind. Never understood it till today. It's true. Look it up. Very interesting science. All right, people, I am out of time. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Put it into action. Word, thought, and deed. Do it right. Keep it positive and keep it less negative. All right, people, I love you. Make it a great day. And I'll see you tomorrow right here on The Morning Show. Bye-bye, everyone.